Hey FlossTube, long time no talk. I just got busy. Summer's been hectic in a good way, in a very good way. But I decided that it had been a while since I made like a FlossTube video, and that I should do that. I'm in the process of filming vlogs for the month of July. And I kind of just wanted to touch base before I cobble those all together, so that's what this is. First thing in the morning, having my coffee. This could be a long one. That's just me being cautious. I haven't actually looked at all the stuff I have to show you yet. There's a reason for that. There's going to be some editing. This is the first part of the FlossTube video. That's going to be something new, but that will take off because I'm going to make it. So, Beverly Evanger. I miss her terribly, even though I didn't really interact with her that much. I mean, you know, I responded to a few of her comments, and I feel really terrible about that. And I feel really terrible in general about the fact that I'm really bad about not only commenting on other FlossTubers videos, but I'm also abysmal at responding to comments that you all leave on my videos. And I want to change that because, first of all, I love you guys and I like interacting with you. But also, it's like you're taking the time to pause my video or watch my video the whole way through and then leave a comment, really thoughtful comments. The least I can do is get back to you. But in reality, sometimes, you know, for whatever reason, who I am as a person, actually, you know, like hitting reply and tacketa, just isn't in my makeup. I don't know what it is. So I have decided, in honor of Beverly, at the beginning of every one of my FlossTube videos, I am going to respond personally, verbally, to every comment I get on the previous video. And if you don't want me to do that, just write in your comment, "Don't read." Because I think this is how I can actually respond to comments, just who I am as a person. So yeah, hopefully this will work. And now, fortunately, I'm not a big name FlossTube person. I only have about 600 and some subscribers. So, I don't normally have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments to go through. We might need to revisit this if that ever changes, but for now, let's give it a shot. So, relatively new mug, by the way. I got this, I backed at Kickstarter like a year and a half ago. This Potter, and she also does teas. Let's see if I can. It's Dryad Pottery, and I think she's based in Colorado. But her Kickstarter was like she wanted to buy a kiln for her home because having to use the kiln at like the public art space she had been was kind of putting a damper on her pottery business because she was getting so many orders that she really just needed to have her own kiln. And so she kickstarted that, and I got a mug. I love handmade pottery. It is a weakness of mine. I just thought I'd share that because I know sometimes y'all like my mugs. I don't have my official FlossTube I do what I want mug with me today. But it did make an appearance in the blog clip I filmed yesterday, so you will see it. Okay, comments. So I'm going to do comments now, and then I'm probably going to move to a different location in my house at some point to show you all the stuff. Not all the stuff, just, well, yeah, all the stuff. I need to get things better organized in here, but that's neither here nor there. My partner, Josh, spoiled me terribly and got me a tablet for my birthday. I turned 35 last month. And I got this awesome case for it. I love it. I think Garrett would appreciate this. Anyway, so I've got my comments. So let's go through them. First one from Crafty Creative Claire, thanking me for the shout out. You really made my day. I'm glad, Claire. You're a sweetheart. I love watching your videos. I've been working on my big dragon, and I'll be showing him off in my next video, I promise. I can't wait. I love his little face. Oh yeah, she's also working on Little Alien Schoolgirl, and she really liked my idea of customizing the name, which I still need to, like, I have no idea when I'm going to start stitching that, because Josh and I have been following closely every month each release of the Birthstone Dragon Sal, so I think I'm gonna, that might be a new start for next year, because Josh loves dragons, and I was like, well, there's this stitch along, and he said, well, let's just wait till the end of the year so I can look at it and see how they look to make sure that I really like it. And I said, okay, you know, that's fair. Money will get to Brittany eventually. Excuse me. But yeah, every month, you know, I say, here's this month's dragon. He's like, oh my God. So I think the Birthstone Dragon Sal is going to happen before the Little Alien Schoolgirl, but it will get done. And she says, you're so creative. Oh, thank you. And everyone, a lot of you said really kind things about the little, like, unemployment scare we had. Thank you so much. We're so lucky for Josh to have found something. I mean, the tech industry really is just like this sometimes, and we're really fortunate that this is the first time that ever happened, because, you know, there are some, you know, computer programmers or, you know, systems guys like Josh is, who this has happened like 3 or 4 times, and that just can be the nature of the tech business. But it was still a little scary. But thank you all for your kind words. That was really sweet. I'm not gonna go through every comment that said that, but you all know who you are, and it was most of you. Pip Stitch says, hi, Julia. Love, love, love your videos. The feeling is mutual, Philip. I miss you. I know it's summertime, so you're probably, you know, neck deep in theater stuff. Thanks so much for the shout out. And you're welcome anytime for tea and chat. The kettle is always on here. You are on, sir. Like, I don't know when, but it's a date. We'll do that. It'll be fun. Because I really want to show Amelia and Josh the United Kingdom. Well, okay, story time. So I've been to the UK once, not for nearly long enough. I was kind of helping chaperone some high school students from the high school I attended. They were taking a class trip to London, and they opened it up to alumni, and I was like, well, yeah, that's a fabulous deal, just financially. I mean, that was a great, great deal. The problem, I had a fabulous time. The problem with traveling with students is that the teachers want them to see as much as possible, but you have to do it as quickly as possible. So we didn't really get out of London much. We did get to Hampton Court Palace. We went to Windsor Castle and Stratford upon Avon. There's so much more to the UK than that. And then, you know, we did things like, and okay, Brits, brace yourself. I know this is awful. We only got to spend about 2 hours at the British Museum. I know. I know. And we only got to spend like 45 minutes at the National Portrait Gallery. I know. And it was that was like the first thing we saw, and we were all exhausted. So you have like, you know, like 30 jet-lagged Americans just kind of standing around like, oh, that's a pretty painting of a boat. Oh God, can I sleep here? So yeah, it was bad. We had a fabulous time, and your country is beautiful. But yeah, I never made it to Cheshire, where Philip lives, or even up to Scotland or anything. And I think it would be fun to like fly in to Scotland, do some touring in Scotland, and then rent a car and kind of and drive south with the intention of flying home via Heathrow. But who knows when that'll happen. But it's a plan. Oh, Trisha from 3 Owl Threads, who won the sweetheart tree thing that I still hadn't mailed out to her because I'm a horrible human being. Trisha, I will do that today. And I will throw in some other things because this is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. Brit Stitch says, there's a specially shaped needle for doing bullion knots that may help you. You know, thank you for telling me that. Maybe when I'm no longer like, I don't even want to hear the name bullion knots, I will look into that. And she also says, a milliner's needle works well if you don't mind the sharp point. It's fine. Thank you for that pointer. Orietta says, I am always happy to watch your videos. Thank you. Oh, and Orietta said this, and a couple of other folks mentioned this, and I am going to try this. For tent stitch on Mermaid of Atlantis, because she has some blended threads. And if I want to do 1 over 1 skin, I actually suggested doing 2 over 1 tent stitch, which I'm going to try because that would definitely solve the blended threads problem. So thank you. Tash, the Star-Crossed Stitcher. Hi, Julia. I recently finished Rose is a Rose 2. Such a sweet piece. Thank you. It is fun. It stitched up so fast. Like, I have it in the finished drawer. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I was thinking a pillow, but that will happen when it happens. What is the fabric you're using for Home by the Sea? That is a 32 count, and that is Haunted by Picture This Plus. And 123 Stitch does carry that. I Heart Cross Stitch loves the mug. I do too. A stitch too far. Hi, Julia. Thanks for your response to my comment. I forget what that was, but you're welcome. Wait, was that about? That was about the Philadelphia Needleminder on Mermaid of Atlantis. Love your whips and videos. Have a great June and see you soon. Here I am. Lisa Bergen says, thank you for the shout out. And it was actually a booktuber that had mentioned Dead Mount, and I mistakenly said FlossTube. Yeah, you know what? That's great. I mean, I'm glad folks are reading that book because it's so fascinating. I gave it to my sister to read at the beach, and she inhaled it. Oh, and Beverly. The last comment Everly left for me was, I really enjoyed your video and seeing you as well. Thanks for sharing your work. Thank you, Beverly. Olivia B. I love your mug. And you have perfect timing with it too. Thank you. I love it too. My Nana saw that on the internet and she and told me about it because she knows me. Your whip of red and the black looks awesome. And thanks for volunteering at Planned Parenthood. Olivia, volunteering at Planned Parenthood is literally the least I can do. You're welcome. And yeah, I like the way the red and the black's turning out too. It's kind of like the little underdog of my whip pile right now, but every time I pull it out and look at it, I'm like, wow, that's really pretty. And Karen Davis Macon said, you enabled me to buy Aristocracy. I love bees. Ha 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 ha. I don't enable often, but when I do, it's nice. Would it be possible to see where I am on the retreat waiting list? Yes, I will poke you on Facebook if I have not already. I know quite a few people have in the past I've been in contact with them with where they are in the retreat waiting list. And I will see if you were one of them. And I actually did have a little conversation here with Ann P. of Woolly Wonka Fibers, who was gracious enough to donate some hand-dyed silk flosses to the retreat raffle table. So you'll have to wait to see those, but they're gorgeous. And also instructed me to Google Seventh-day Adventists, which I did, because I had said, oh, the Advent church that she personalized her Hawkwind Hollow with, and I said, oh, is that about Christmas? Because I might as well just have like Big Jew written on my forehead. I had no idea that there was like a separate denomination, and so now I feel kind of silly. What did I do? I touched something and now I only see one comment, and that's not good. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're good. We're back. We're back. We're back. Fiber Artsy said, love your projects and I always enjoy your videos. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Have a great beach trip. I did. It was everything I needed. Gibbs Girl Stitches is looking forward to the retreat in Austin. I'm glad. I'm scared, but I'm excited, so we'll see. It'll be fine. And Cross Stitch Addict. I love seeing your stitching. The heart hanger pieces are beautiful. I would love to learn to do that, but scared at the same time. If I can do it, you can do it. I've said before, Nina of Stitching with a Smile has fabulous tutorials on her YouTube channel, and that's how I learned. So definitely, you know, get yourself a piece of 22 count heart hanger and some pearls and give her a shot. It's fun. Organic Granny, hi Lori, says, we had a nice chat. I'm glad you're better now. Nice whips, always good to see you. Happy stitching and good luck to Hubs at his new job. Thank you. He's doing well. He's doing well. Ginger Gerald Stitcher, you're a new person. I don't remember seeing you comment here before. Okay, so I just found your channel not that long ago. Hi. I don't know why it took so long. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go follow you, Gerald, because I'm unfamiliar with you as well. But why didn't anyone ever tell me that you were so close in the Philly area? You're in Philly? We're in Philly. We should hang out. But holy cow, I live so close to another FlossTuber. Yeah, dude, we should find an LNS. For sure. Dawn, Jilly Pepper, hi. Dawn is another one of those fabulous people who comments on most, if not all, of my videos, and leaves a lot of lovely Instagram comments too. Lots of lovely projects, good progress, and all friends love the colorways of the yarn you got. Where would I find the Driftwood project? Sounds like right up my alley, and I have just the wool. I don't know if you can buy the Driftwood. Where is the booklet? It's in the living room. I will private message you. It's in Knit Filament magazine, which you can get a hard copy of, but it's also an ebook. And I believe they're on Ravelry. But I will private message you. And saying, yeah, the lovely array is Mackenzie's vlog name. I don't know why that just went clear out of my head when I was filming. It was like I know what it is. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't. And Tina Healy says, great video as always. You had me at Confefe. I was expecting a rant. No, I was just trolling. Anyway, your whips are beautiful. Thank you. And oh yeah, okay, it was Tina who also said about doing 2/1 10 stitch for my mermaid skin. So, and that's everybody. So thank you all for taking the time to comment. And it was actually kind of fun to respond that way, just kind of off the cuff. So hopefully I can continue that. Okay, so I'm gonna finish my coffee and find a better place to film and show you some cross stitch stuff, some knitting stuff, some stuff I've spun, and what else am I forgetting? I'm not sure, but we'll find out. All right, see you in a sec. That took a little longer than I'd anticipated, but what can you do? Okay, so we're in my dining room right now. All right, let's get to it. Whips. What I've been working on this week is QS Ladybug, which, if you'll remember, I am stitching 2/1 10th stitch on a 25 count Lugana from Jottery Designs. This is called Elven Wood. It was a limited edition. It was like one of her monthlies back in, when did I buy this? This was last year. Anyway, so I've got a page and a little more than half. I don't think I'm going to finish the page today. I'll do my best, but I just don't think it's going to happen. But definitely the next time I pick this up, I will get that done, and then there's like a fractional page, it's like 4 columns over here. So then the top third will be done. Wow, this looks so cool. Like from a distance. I like it. Turning out well. Anchor black, as always. All right, so that is QS Ladybug. Let's grab, what's next? This looks like Nantucket Girls Sampler, which you've seen recently. What's in with Nantucket Girls Sampler? There we go, okay. With my big Peekaboo project bags from Trisha. I've been keeping 2 projects in them because they're big enough for that. So you saw when I had the top half of this done, and then this was my June Wine and Whip. So what I did was I got most of the verse for that quarter done. You can tell where the Q-snap was, because it's not completely finished. So, but this is where we are. I would like to finish this project this year, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I think if I'm being really generous, very early in 2018. I love it so much. So that's Nantucket Girl, which I'll just reach in here and grab Mermaid of Atlantis. Which has some threads hanging on it. Because I'm getting into a part where there's like lots and lots and lots of color, and I thought, well, why don't I just park a little bit? May or may not have been a good idea. That's my sister texting me. But I'm working on her tail. And she was actually in rotation last week. So essentially I got done from here down. I did this pretty thin. Adding some Krynic. I don't know if you can see any sparkle. But yeah. This is on 32 count. What fabric is this? It's from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. It is not Fathoms Below. I don't remember. And my notebook that has all my starts and little notes in it is in the other room. I'll put it down at the bottom. It's nice, whatever it is. I really like the linen that Stephanie uses. And the last of my main whips, my Monday to Friday whips, would be the red and the black one from Prairie Moon, which is stitched 2/2 on, this is called for Lakeside Linens, 32 count vintage autumn gold. But Lakeside Linens, I love this linen. I love how it feels. It is so beautiful to stitch on. And here we are. So I had A, B, C, D, E. And I am not using the silk. This is Anchor Black and DMC 321. And I love this. This is kind of my underdog whip. It doesn't always get a good amount of love, but just looking at it now, wow. Really pleased. So yeah, that's the my main 4 in rotation. And then on the weekends, I pick one of my Stitch Mania whips. Usually either via whatever strikes me, like I'm gonna do this weekend, or a random number generator if I can't decide. I'll show you the thing that doesn't have any progress at all because I'm gonna give this try to give this some good loving this weekend, which is Aristocracy by Ingleside Imaginarium. I am really itching to stitch the cute little bee, so I think I'm gonna do, at the very least, the clover bud and try to start the bee that's sitting on the clover. which would be so right around in here. That's what I'm gonna devote some time to this weekend. I put some more work, don't ask me when, because it's been a while, but my Mill Hill kit, I love stitching. Move this tiny little needle minder. This has had quite a bit of progress on it since the last time you saw it. Super fun. Okay. And what's next over here? I think I've done some work on Home by the Sea from By the Bay Needle Arts since the last time I showed you. Let's look. Which is on 32 Count Haunted by Picture This Plus. Yeah, I think I did a little bit more work on the house and tree branch over here. Slowly but surely. Quaker peacocks, which I'm gonna have to do some frogging the next time I pull it out, and that makes me so sad. But it's my own fault for trying to cut corners. And I should know better. I should know better than to just coast. But I love this thread. So this is on a 40 count beige from someplace. I got it in a stitchy box. And cotton from Jottery Designs and peacock feathers. I don't know if that's showing up very well. It's so delicate. Yeah. So I've got some frogging to do, like from here down. So not a lot, but it's 40 count, and it's kind of, I love we're stitching on 40 count, but frogging is such a pain. Oh my God. It's gonna look like that. Lastly is from the Cricut collection. This is not one of my favorite whips, I've got to say. But I'm going to stitch it anyway. It just might take me a while. It's woolen mittens, and I'm doing that one. So when I pulled this out a couple of weeks ago, I just did some more work on that middle section with the trees and the snow. So those are the weekend stitches. What next? So you will see the process, some of the process in July's vlog, but I tried my hand at some coffee dyeing. Why did I try my hand at coffee dyeing? Because I drank the Kool-Aid. What Kool-Aid did I drink? What Kool-Aid did I drink? I drank this Kool-Aid. Said I wasn't gonna do it. And then I was watching Emily, Eclectic Possessions, and watching her do this awesome thing she does when she just got out pretty threads that she liked the colors of and would just like put them on her piece and pick which one. And I thought, well, that's a good idea. I have some of the called for threads, but not all of them, and I'm collecting things. This isn't going to be started for a while because Stitchy Box had a thread sale like a frickin' month and a half ago. and they haven't been sent out yet, which, whatever, they'll get here. I get the impression that the Stitchy Box folks are like if it's not a one-woman show, it's like maybe a two-woman show, so, and they're popular, so. Patience is a virtue. Anyway, I thought, wouldn't it be cool to stitch Coffee Quaker on a piece of coffee dyed fabric? I've never done that before. So I bought 3 pieces of white linen. I bought a little piece of 40 count, I bought a 32 count, and then I bought a piece of 36 count that this would fit on. I haven't touched the 36 count yet because I wanted to play with the 40 count and 32 count. And I really like what happened. And in the vlog, I seem not too excited about the 32 count. The more I look at it, the more I really like it, even with the splotch in the middle. So here's the 40 count. This isn't really showing up true. Maybe it is. Anyway, this was super fun. Doesn't smell quite as much of, oh, there it goes. The scent fades. Anyway, love this. And I've decided I'm going to stitch Curse of the Raven on this. So that's going to get tucked away with that pattern, because I think that would look really cool. And then here's the 32 count. Which grew on me a lot. Here's the other side. Need to figure out which one I like best. Anyway, I'm gonna keep this in stash, but I'm kind of thinking I have a couple of spooky not schoolhouse. I stitched that little witch. Prairie Schooler. Prairie Schooler. I have a couple of full-sized kind of spooky Prairie Schoolers I thought would look cool on here. So I'm thinking that's like way in the future, but so I'm not gonna dye the 36 count yet, because then I'll just want to start that project. Can't do it right now. Can't do it. I purchased a small chatelaine. Not like a full chatelaine. It used to be a freebie. It was that those red toadstools. So I paid like €4 for it. And if I start anything soonish, it will be that, because I'm kind of enamored of toadstools. And I always said, you know, don't think I'd ever stitch a chatelaine, but then there's that mushrooms and ferns, or ferns and mushrooms mandala that is gorgeous, and I kind of want to do it, but no, not spending the money on that, not right now, not for a while. It's really pretty. And the, yeah, not doing that. Not doing it. Not doing it. Okay, hold on one sec. I'm going to talk about spinning and knitting. Actually, no, wait a sec. I have some hand spun here that I can talk to you about. And then I will pause and go in the living room and get the socks I've been working on. So Tour de Fleece is coming along. The first stuff I'm going to show you, I did before Tour de Fleece. So this is from Wool Gatherings. The colorway doesn't have a name, but it's 80% merino, 20% silk. I managed about 174 yards of it. It's vaguely worsted. And it was when it was still in fiber form, Amelia requested mittens. So these will be mittens for my kiddo. Yeah, that's what's going to happen here. I hadn't spun in a while, so this is not my best work, but it's good for something cushy for a kid. And I had a lot of fun. And then for Tour de Fleece, I had bought some plain gray alpaca from a vendor at my farmer's market, and I managed a fingering-ish weight, 206 yards, and this was so lovely to spin. It is so soft. It was glorious. This is going to be a cowl. And I'm thinking of doing some lace with it. But beautiful. So happy with this. Okay, hold on one sec. I will get what's currently on a bobbin on my wheel right now and the socks that I'm working on. Hold on a tick. And we're back. Okay. What I've spun most recently, actually just finished, almost literally. So I purchased a subscription to the Woolly Wonka Fibers Fiber Club. And on Monday, the July fiber arrived, and I was having a really bad depression day. And the colors just grabbed me by the face. And we're like, look, there's beauty in the world. And I couldn't, like, all my spinning plans went out the window because I had to get this on the wheel. And I managed to get singles all on one bobbin, which I've decided I'm going to chain ply. I'm used to calling it Navajo plying, but I've been hearing it called chain plying more recently when in Rome. Trying to get the colors to show up nicely. They look a little bit washed out. This colorway is called Tiki Hut, and it's this beautiful Caribbean blue and a really vivid green, like bright green, and little bits of brown throughout. This spun up like a dream, and thank you, this arrived exactly when I needed it. So these singles need to rest for about 24 hours before I ply them. That's just how I do things. And yeah, so the next time I see you, I will show you the pretty finished yarn. I have no idea what's going on the wheel next. I will grab something and figure it out. So I am knitting a pair of socks. I started them at the beach, and they are from Filament Magazine. This is the summer 2017, however you want to say it, issue. This is the first time I've ever bought this. I like it. I'm wondering maybe I'll be a little kinder to the planet and buy just the digital copy of the next one. But we shall see. I really like it. There are lots of photos. It's really, really visual. And so far the patterns are easy to understand. I will show you what I'm knitting now, and then we'll do a flip through. So I am, actually, you know what? The preview picture is nicer than the ones on the fabric, on the pattern. It's bigger. I am knitting these socks. They're called Driftwood. Patterns super, super easy to memorize. Top down, short row heel, basic wedge toe. And it's just as simple. It's got a tiny cable pattern. As I said, really easy to memorize. I'm doing this on Woolly Wonka Fibers Rhiannon sock in the colorway Forget Me Not. Here's the first one. I'll kind of put it on my wrist. My Nana has tiny feet. This sock knits up like a dream. I love it. Not this sock, this yarn knits up like a dream. The sock knits up like a dream too, but I was talking about the yarn. So one sock and then about this how much of the other one. I'd like to finish this before the summer's out because I like to have holiday knitting in the bag as early as possible to so that I'm not as stressed out. So those will be from my Nana, who turned 93 today. I called her, I talked to her, she's okay. She's not okay. My grandfather has Alzheimer's and she's his sole caregiver. She's not okay at all. But we're not going to talk about that because I don't feel like crying. Knit Filament magazine. You want to flip through? Let's do a flip through. And if you follow Ann P. and look at her knitting podcast, you know, the one she designed, she's got a little bust like shops mannequin that she has her designs modeled on, and it's really cool. I don't have any of those. I do need sock blockers though. So in this issue there are 3, 6, 8 patterns. There's this is a lace shawl called the Breakers. The theme is kind of like coastal New England. The Breakers. And then there's this kind of rebozo wrap called Cabana. The construction of this looks really interesting. If I can find a diagram, I'll show you. This camisole called Downdrift. Got a nice little picot edging. And this lace pattern is pretty, but it also looks pretty. Technical difficulties, i.e. my phone ran out of space, but I had quite a few long clips on there, so that makes total sense. I was showing you Downdrift. Very pretty. Here's driftwood that I'm knitting. A cute cardigan called Ebb and Flow that I believe is worked from the yoke down. So you've got lace and then just plain stockinette the rest of the way down. Nice. Mindless, pretty colors. This shawl is another one of the main reasons I bought this. It's called Estuary. And it just looked really pretty. Now the problem I'm running into is finding this yarn. But I can fudge it. Pretty. A white lace scarf called Fleur de Sel. A skirt called French Line. Looks pretty, but much like, you know, stockinette, and it looks like there's some gathered places here to kind of give it some flow. So that's that. What I wanted to show you with the Cabana, like rebozo shawl. So there are 3 sections, and I think if I'm looking at it correctly, what you do is you start from the middle of the center section, knit outwards until you have this rectangle, and then pick up stitches along either side and then knit outward. That's a really neat construction, I think. What else? Back of Estuary. Really want to knit that. another little glimpse of that lace scarf. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with this publication. I think it's just the two ladies who put it together. It's the photos are really beautiful. From what I've looked at the patterns, they're pretty straightforward. You know, well written, plain English, easy to understand, even if, you know, if you might find lace itself challenging, but the instructions are standard, you know, the standard. It's good. What am I trying to say? This is a terrible review, Anne, I'm sorry. But I like it. I also like how things are charted. You know, like there are lace charts and cable charts, but also if you don't know how to read a chart, or if you don't like charts, they're also written, instructions are written out row by row. So, something for everybody. So yeah, I would recommend checking it out. I'm sure they're on Ravelry. And yeah, they have digital as well, which I think is the route I'm going to go next time, just to save some trees. But yeah, happy with that. I will knit quite a bit from that too, because generally I don't subscribe to knitting or cross stitch publications, just because most of the time there's only maybe one or two things that I would even consider doing. But there's in that particular issue there were many. So what else? Oh, I wanted to show you something cool I bought with some birthday money. So there's this company that's called Habu Textiles, and I bought some of their yarn with birthday money, and this is cool because, first of all, look how thin, look how tiny, it's thread. Thread. So this is merino wool. This is silk and stainless steel. Yeah. The Yarn Harlot knit with this a few years ago, and I was intrigued. But, you know, how things are. That's intriguing. Maybe I'll do it someday. Well, 5 years later, here we are, you know. I found a free pattern that you knit those with. It's called the xoxo scarf. And I like it because it's kind of funky and kind of artsy. And I bought a dress for my birthday that I think it would look really nice with. And these are not the only two colors they come in. If you go to Habu Textiles, which I will link down below, you can pick and choose combinations. I'll try to show you. Oh, terrible glare, guys, I'm sorry. I'll link this below too. This is, in particular, the colorway I got. So for most of the shawl, you knit with one strand of each together. And then for the last little bit, you knit with just the stainless steel. And when you're done knitting it, you felt it slightly. I'm trying to find another. There's another picture of it. It's not for everybody, and I freely admit that, but it's so unique and nothing I've ever really done before. I really have to try. Here's someone who knit. I think she's wearing all hand knits, but that's not it. That's another version. You know, different colors. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna knit this, but hopefully this year, maybe maybe I will cast on that after I finish Nana's socks. It's a good carrot. Anyway, super excited to try that though. Yeah, Habu Textiles has a lot of really unique, just fun stuff. I recommend just checking them out just to see, you know, see some new stuff that's out there. And that's pretty much all the crafty stuff I have to show you. I wanted to talk to you about a book real quick. This was published in 2014, actually, but it's the first in a series, and the second is coming out in October, and so I reread this at the beach, and I know quite a few of you are into fantasy, sci-fi fantasy. This is fantasy. This is by an American author named Saladin Ahmed. He lives in the Detroit area, and it's called Throne of the Crescent Moon. What is unique about this novel, first off, is you know how most fantasy novels take place in essentially like thinly veiled England, thinly veiled Western Europe in general. This takes place on the thinly veiled Arabian Peninsula. So totally different culture that he's drawing from, which I think is fascinating, and it's good for you. So what about this is Dr. Abdullah Mankslud, and this is his assistant Rasid Bas Rasid, and this is Zamia, a shapeshifter. Together they fight crime. In general, yeah, that's the gist, but there's more to it. Abdullah is a ghoul hunter who really wants to retire, and his assistant Rasid is a member of a very austere, very strict religious order, and they're very talented fighters, and they come across Zamia, who is a member of a nomadic tribe, and her entire tribe has been killed by some zombie ghoul things, and she's the last one. And they live in, these two live in a huge city. I'm not sure which city in the Middle East it's based off of, but they get drawn into trying to save the world in general, save their city in specific from a dark wizard who essentially wants the rivers to run with blood. So the streets to be rivers of blood. And there's political intrigue because the what is it called? The king, who's not really the king, something, not the sultan. The guy in charge of the city, the royal guy in charge of the city, whose name is escaping me, is very corrupt, and so there's, you know, a revolution brewing, in addition to the fact that, you know, just a few people know, like, we're all gonna die because this evil person is trying to kill us all with magic and ghouls. It's really fun, and if it sounds at all like something you would enjoy, I highly recommend picking this up. The sequel's coming out in October. You got plenty of time. And this is a pretty, I mean, I inhaled this I inhaled it the first time I read it, 274 pages. So the second time I read it at the shore, it took me like 3 or 4 days. you know, because we were on beach time. But yeah, Saladin Ahmed, Throne of the Crescent Moon. Check it out. Really, really fun. Yeah. So that's all for me today. I'm going to try to knit all these clips together and upload them. Have a Friday upload. Fun, fun, fun. Yeah, I want to thank you all for taking time out of your day to watch me. Watch me talk about whatever. You know, there are more entertaining FlossTubers out there, and it really, it does make me feel good to have you spend some time with me. And I really appreciate your comments as well. And with my new commenting system, we'll be able to interact a little bit more. So have a wonderful rest of your summer. Not sure when I will be back. I'm going to shoot for an August video at some point. Not at some point. I'm going to shoot for an August. I'm going to plan to have another video for you in August. I'm not going to promise anything because family stuff and the retreat is starting to breathe down my neck and I'm having a little bit of a freak out, but we'll be okay. Yeah, so thanks so much. Take care, and I will catch you around the internet, folks.